Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle, and today I just want to do a quick video. I found a good way dipping spinner baits into ProTech powder paint. I modified a tube, a cup for a fluid bed, and I think this will be a really good way to do spinner baits. I've never really been able to paint spinner baits real good. I've always had to use like a piece of paper and fold it over and drizzle the powder paint onto it after it being heated up. So this is a definite better solution than what I've used in the past, and hopefully you guys will get something out of this. Okay, you guys, so this is the apparatus, and what I did was I took a tube. I made a tube a lot longer than my actual ones. The ones I normally dip my powder paints in are about 2 3/4 inch or something like that. They're not that long. This one I made 4 inches long, so it's 4 inches deep, and it's got about, I'd say probably about 3 ounces of powder paint in it. And I do this a lot with white, so my idea was to get this filled up with white. And it's about half full, really. It's about half full. You can see it right there. This is just pearl white. And what I do is, this is how I'm going to show you guys what we do here. First, let me get this thing turned on. And I'm going to open up the valve slowly to get the powder paint up there. I'm going to leave this on loose because sometimes that powder paint, it wants to blow up everywhere. So I'm going to open this up. Enough to where it's starting to bubble, starting to come up. And sometimes it blows up and some of it comes out. You can see some of the dust on the desk right here. So that's the only bad part about it. So let me take this off, see where we're at. And you'll need to keep adjusting it. So keep letting more air into it a little bit at a time to let it come up. And what I want is, I want it to come up to almost, not to quite to the top, but real close. So right now we're right here where the bubbling is. So I've got this much to play with, and all that powder paint is just floating. So let me show you guys and give you a quick little, see how close that is to the top? Again, you don't crank the air on too fast because it'll just come spurting right out of there, okay? The next step that you're gonna wanna do, and I'm actually going to tilt you guys up just a little bit so you can see this better, is here is a poured spinner bait, okay? I did 3/8 and 1/2. I think this is a 1/2. Now we take some blue tape. Take the blue tape, peel it back, cover the hook portion, fold it over, so that it's all the way covered. And again, you want to make sure that all the metal on the hook is covered. Okay, like that, just like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut the excess off, because you don't want all this tape going down into the paint, right? It's just more crap for it to stick to. So cut enough off to where it's pinched on the other side and it won't get to the hook. And then at the bottom of the hook, make sure you trim that back a little bit as well, okay? And then just double check and make sure that this is pinched tight. So you're gonna need blue tape to do this. Again, I'm just covering the hook part up. Now I'm gonna bring it over to my heat source, which is right here. I'm gonna get this heated up real good. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna get this heated up real good. Okay, that's the heat source. And then I want you guys to be right here a little bit closer so that I can show you dipping it in. So get it heated up real good. Make sure you get the bottom real good. Okay, the only thing about this is when you dip in powder paint that's got a fluid bed, the paint tends to be a little bit lighter. So in my case, I've noticed with these is that I have to dip them twice. Okay, so this is nice and hot. I'm ready to go. Here we go, ready? See the flag? Down in she goes, right to the metal, back up. Okay, looks good. It looks like the way I did it, nice and slow there. Everything is covered. I'm gonna go ahead and return it to the heat. Make sure it got everything. I'm going to heat all this up, and I'm probably going to have to dip it one more time because I can already see some of the silver through. Yeah, I can see some of the silver through. So I'm going to heat this up one more time, and I'm going to dip it again real quick. Okay, there we go. Tap off the excess, use the hook part with the tape. Heat it up until it's nice and coated. And it may take 3 times if you don't hit it quick enough, if you don't get enough powder paint on there. You really need to get, the idea here is not to get too much powder paint on here, but you want enough to cover the actual bait, the actual lead. Okay, so there you have it. A nice painted spinnerbait, and I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off just to show you. We got nothing on the hook. And when you put this in to bake it, just make sure that you got all the powder paint off the hook. Make sure there's none on there. I just from touching that tape and stuff like that, you're gonna tend to get it on there. So there you go, right there. That's it. Nice finished. Didn't get any paint on the hook. Perfectly painted. So you could do this with other colors if you really wanted to, but I think that's good right there. Now the only step that I've got to do with these is, this is for a buddy of mine, and he wants little red bellies on them, so you just take a little bit of red and shoot it on after the fact. But let's go ahead and just do one more just to show you again how cool this is. So again, I thought about it the other day, and I'm thinking, you know, I could probably just make a deeper tube, and that should do everything we need it to do. And I was right. All right, so let's get this hook covered. Again, you want to make sure you don't get any of the, you don't want the lead part covered at all. Looks like I was too short on the tape. Yeah, I was too short on the tape. Let me get one more piece here. Just got to make sure you got enough tape. Blue paint's pretty cheap, so it's not like you're you know, throwing away a ton of money by taping these. You could probably use just regular masking tape too, I guess, for like a if you don't have the blue painter's tape. The blue painter's tape is very easy to work with. It's very easy to cut. It's very easy to use. It pulls apart really easy. It's not very, what's the right word? It's not too sticky where it's gonna, you know, put adhesive on your hooks and everything. Okay, so there's another one ready to go. So let's go ahead and heat it up. Heat it up on my heat source. And one thing I'm going to show you guys too is I'm going to show you the bottom plates that I'm using for filters. I have 2 other videos in my arsenal now. If you go back and look in the channel, I've got 2 videos on how to make fluid beds, and then fluid beds 2.0. And both great videos, instructionals on how to make this entire setup with the bases and everything. I get a lot of questions on that, a lot of viewers on that particularly. Okay, so that's nice and hot. Here we go. Down in. Back up. Much better. And I'm going to go ahead and double dip it. So definitely needed a second coat. I could see some of the silver coming through. That's about what I've found with most of these. So they need a second coat. At least a second coat. All right, that one came out really good. Okay. So again, we'll take the tape off. Make sure there's no powder paint on that hook, and it's going to be a little warm. But there you go. Came out great. So again, taller cup definitely works better. It's a 4-inch cup. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so I can show you. So I made this a 4-inch cup. Trying to get some of the dust out of here. Okay, so it's a super tall cup. And again, we have the filter media from TJ's Tackle. Okay, so if you go to TJ's Tackle, and it's just tjstackle.com, if you go to their website, you can find their contact information and go ahead and get a hold of them. You got to email them. Let me make this clear. You got to email them to get these filter discs, and you got to tell them which size PVC you're using, a 2-inch, or you can use a 3-inch. Myself, I use the 2-inch. I like the 2-inch better. So just tell them what size you want, 2 or 3. They'll send you, they'll tell you what the price is in an email, and then they'll send them to you separately. You gotta buy them separate. It's not on the website. Let me just make that clear. A lot of people think that it's on the website to go just buy. No, you can't. You got to email them. They'll send you an invoice, and you tell them how many you want, and they'll tell you how much they are, and then they'll send you a bill, you pay it, and then they'll ship them to you. So that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. I just wanted to do that, show you guys how we dip the spinner baits into some white powder paint with a bigger fluid bed. Well, that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to show you all how we took a nice spinner bait and how we dipped it perfectly into the white powder paint in a bigger tube, then that way you can get it down in there. So again, it's a 4-inch tube that I made for my existing fluid bed, and it works perfect. Tape the hook up, get the powder paint to about here, and then you're dipping the head down into about like there. So it fits in there perfectly. And I've tried it with the bigger sizes and the smaller sizes. It should be everything you need. If you need them a little bit deeper, make it bigger. But you're just going to make sure that you have enough air to push that powder paint up to make it float. So that's one thing you're going to have, is you're going to have a decent size aerator, enough to push that air up through there. So if you have an aerator that you're running a few fluid bed bottoms on, you may have to just restrict yourself to using one, cut the air off to the other ones and just go right to the one directly. You may have to have a significant amount of air. That's what I'm guessing, because you're pushing a lot more fluid, or a lot more powder paint, and the powder paint is a little bit heavier. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. Just a quick little thing. I thought I figured that out, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, keep on baiting.